Gaming collections are really cool. They usually pack a punch with how little you're spending with how much content is being included. They breathe new life into games that haven't been around for a long time, whether they've been re-released at all. It's been a while since they've been re-released. It certainly is nice just seeing these comprehensive collections. Yeah, there certainly are some stinkers that might not be as good and they kind of just feel like a cash grab, but if there's one collection that certainly stands out to me to date that I just feel as though it's certainly the best, it has to be Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition. Yeah, quite a mouthful, but it was released to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Kirby. Now, this was released for the Wii. As a result, it also released at the end of the Wii's life. In fact, it was about a couple months off before the Wii U came out, so not as many people picked this up. I do remember getting this game. There's only one copy in stock at GameStop, so that was certainly nice that they at least still had it in for us. Well, we did pre-order it after all, but yeah. Now, the games that are included in this are, of course, games that are already on the Nintendo Switch Online, but it is nice because it's technically a physical form factor, even if they are just emulated games. Being, of course, Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby's Adventure, Kirby's Dream Land 2, Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Land 3, and Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. Now, what's really cool about this, though, I think is mainly the Game Boy games being Kirby's Dream Land and Kirby's Dream Land 2, being the fact that those other titles I mentioned, they were already on the Wii Shop channel, so this was certainly a first re-release seeing these Game Boy titles, and really proved that it was possible for Nintendo to put handheld emulation on their consoles. Yeah, I know, it probably doesn't seem like it's the most impossible thing since other people have done that before, way back when, before 2012, but it was just for whatever reason, Nintendo was just allergic to putting their handheld games on consoles for whatever reason. This was a rarity of that. Maybe they didn't really care for the fact that because this was towards the end of the system's life, and they're just like, whatever, we'll just put some handheld games. It's kind of an, odd one-off kind of thing, but yeah, it's really freaking cool. The multiplayer, of course, is still there for Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Dream Land 3, and the mini games in Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. That's really freaking cool. All these games are just phenomenal. I don't need to say that enough. All of them are just fantastic titles. They'll give you hours, days, maybe even weeks of content, trying 100% more of the, in-depth games such as Kirby's Dream Land 3, Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, and of course, Kirby Superstar being what you can't go wrong with. Personally, I prefer Kirby Superstar Ultra, but, that's a DS game, and I guess it made more sense to put Kirby Superstar in because they already had some Super Nintendo emulation in mind with Kirby's Dream Land 3. Now, what is really nice about this, of course, is Kirby's Dream Land 3 is certainly one of the more expensive titles. The game can rack up hundreds of dollars. Even back then, it certainly did, and it was released towards the end of the Super Nintendo's life. So the fact that this physical copy out there exists of this special edition really does help, since technically you have a physical copy of this in one way or another. Probably one of the reasons why this collection tends to go up there a bit more in price, but yeah, the stuff though that was included in this certainly has never been come back before, and probably is the main reason to actually own this collection in this day and age, is the new challenge stages. That's right. Do you remember the challenge stages from Kirby's Return to Dreamland and Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, where you had a copy ability throughout the entire test chamber, and you basically defeated enemies and grabbed coins, trying to complete it as fast as possible you can? Yeah, there's new challenges in this. And also, as well, a literal overworld, which is pretty freaking out there considering this is just some challenge stages. You think it wouldn't be a whole lot more, but no, that's really freaking cool we have that. I don't know if we'll ever be able to see these challenge stages come back, per se. That would be really nice of hell. It's anything certainly a possibility, but yeah, the only way to play so is through this Dream Collection. It's certainly unfortunate. Next, there is a comprehensive history of Kirby in this. This is probably my favorite thing. I love being a history buff for games, and especially with this, I just remember looking at this for hours on end. This has a history of Kirby all the way up from his original release of Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy, all the way up to 2012 when this collection released. Not to mention as well, it's really cool the fact that you get to see trailers for all of these Kirby games. I remember Kirby games that weren't even included in this collection, Kirby games I never had played before. I would just watch those trailers for hours and hours and hours on end. It was really freaking cool, and from what I can tell as well, these trailers seem to be specifically designed for this collection. You get to see a little insert just kind of fly by on the bottom of the screen. That just was really freaking cool at the time. The interactivity as well with the menu that Kirby sucks up each game to be able to check things out, it's pretty freaking cool to say the least. They also make a comprehensive in-depth of when different consoles release, and yes, that's even including the Virtual Boy for Nintendo. Not to mention as well, they also have 3 full episodes of the Kirby Right Back At Ya anime/cartoon in this, which is groundbreaking considering HAL and Nintendo have never re-released these episodes before. So this is what makes this collection even more coveted, considering that it would be really cool if we one day saw a collection of all these episodes released, but until we finally see that, yeah, no, this is the only way to actually officially watch these 3 episodes, since Nintendo just keeps taking down all the episodes and whatnot online. Yeah, there was the Kirby channel way back in the day, but that also had a select few episodes, so to date, there never has been a complete version of all these episodes re-released before. So at the very least, yeah, we do have these 3 episodes to check out, but hopefully someday they do re-release the entire Kirby Right Back At You show. But until then, hey, at least you can check these episodes out and wish even more until they finally happen again. This isn't the end to this collection. The big thing is the physical items included in this, which you don't really see to this day about different things. But there is a physical CD included with a variety of different music from all the different Kirby games, for the most part, included into here, which was awesome to see. All the way up from Kirby's Dream Land to Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Mainly it covered the main series games. It didn't touch spin-off games like Pinball Land or Blockball, but oddly it did have some tracks, or a track from Kirby's Dream Course, so that was certainly interesting, and also Kirby Canvas Curse, but hey, that was pretty freaking cool. There's also some bonus tracks such as Electro Kirby, Gourmet Race to Green Greens, Chamber Music, and A New Dream for Tomorrow. 3 new arranged tracks. Now, of course, it's funny because Guidebook here also recommends that this soundtrack CD cannot be played on a Wii console. Please use an audio CD player. I think that's kind of funny they mentioned that as well. So, yeah, I'm going to be using my PlayStation 1 to play this music. No. And finally, the last thing included in here is the Kirby's 20th Anniversary Celebration Book. Look at that art right there in the front. Isn't that amazing? Also in the back, we get to see the cavalcade of Kirby's, as it says right here. Just all the copy abilities, all the different abilities included in here for Kirby. Just really goes to show and express just how big Kirby really is, and is now, finally. But this book is really cool because it dives in a comprehensive look at all of the games, even the ones we didn't touch on, such as Kirby Star Stacker, Kirby Block Ball, and then some. It gives a comprehensive, in-depth look at all these games, along with some cool tidbits that we didn't get to hear from developers before. We even get to see some bonus elements, or beta elements from games, such as the canceled Kirby's Adventure game in here. That's pretty freaking cool. Collections of print gallery in here. You get to see when games released in the Virtual Console for the 3DS. Yeah, that's a little outdated now, considering the fact, yeah, that hasn't happened. And even this is before the Wii U as well, so 3DS and Wii were certainly the 2 juggernauts at the time for Kirby. That being said, this is the Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition. Certainly a special edition that we may not ever see ever re-released again, with content that's probably going to be lost to time. It seems like more and more that stuff like this, when it gets released, even if it is meant to preserve stuff, in itself has its own elements that probably aren't going to be preserved because there's not really a reason to re-release a collection again. Irony there, and considering what it was meant to trying to do, it made things even worse in a sense. Let me know down below if you enjoyed checking this out, this Kirby's Dream Collection Special Edition tidbit. Hopefully you can check this game out. Let me know if you've checked it out before. What were your favorite elements to this? With that being said, then hope you have the rest of your night, day, time zone, and of course, don't forget to steel yourselves. Bye-bye.